Well, we don't have a lot of time, so I'm skipping the whole intro thing. So yesterday was a loss, unfortunately, but I was able to claw back quite a bit of the loss. We were down over $1,000 when I closed off the stream. Then I spent the next few hours kind of grinding it back, and that's something that just takes a really long time. I'm like completely silent and breathing heavy or swearing, just doing that back and forth, and that's really not something I can easily narrate over or anything like that. I didn't need another loss, though. That was, well, that prevents us from hitting the average win rate for the, my typical average win rate is 70%. So we're not gonna hit that this month. So let me show trades, because let me see if this will work here. Sometimes it's finicky on showing the details. So everybody got punked yesterday, unless you got in and out within the first 15 minutes. The first 15-minute bar pretty much did the entire range, and then it kept looking like it was going to do a breakdown multiple times, but it did hold, making a slightly lower low, and then also a slightly lower high, so you think it's going to be a descending triangle into a breaking point, right? But instead they reversed it, took out the high, made a new settlement area, and then took it up higher again, almost hitting the level of where it maxed out, and then it just plunged. So everyone got punked yesterday. And the warning sign was that it wasn't going anywhere after the first 15 minutes, so we run into that again, we should just back off. But I was able to drop it down from $1,000 loss to 396, so we're not out of the game yet, but we only have 2 days left, and I don't think I'm gonna hit my goal. So we're gonna see what happens today. I marked in purple the high and low of the previous day because I don't have any bias. In order for me to have a bias, I need it. Since we had an inside bar, I need to see something above or below yesterday's price action. And looking at the pre-market data, looks like we're gonna have a gap up. So I'm gonna look to see if it holds this purple area here. Started here. I might have to be a little bit more aggressive defending. This is a nice gap up, though. Man, they really fucked me yesterday. Let me see. 15 minutes. Oh no, my... Test. There we go. Jesus Christ, I just fucking talked for a few minutes and it didn't register. I don't know why my microphone does that. God damn it. So what I was saying is I reversed the $1,000 loss into negative 396. And I went to explain that I don't have a bias until we're outside of the 15-minute range from yesterday, which we are. This is the top, most of that range. Damn, fucking microphone. Why the hell is OBS not... I mean, I just opened it. Wouldn't speak with my microphone.
Like a champ, mate. Ready to dominate the market. Let's
reversed it from that negative $1,000 to negative 396, so it was still a loss yesterday, but it was well below the stop loss, because I did go over the stop loss while I was on the stream.
Ready to keep dominating.
But I tried to
more wins ahead. Grins.
After the stream, I usually give myself like another $100 so I can really concentrate. And I was trying to show the orders, but this is a finicky, kind of a finicky system. Like if I'm trying to show the trades here. I'm gonna change the time frame. Price right now is up just because it was above the purple line, but it's not holding right now. But I'm looking to see if there's going to be a sweep and then a move upward. Well, I have shown my trades on, but it's not coming up. Sometimes it takes a while, especially if there's a lot of them. But there was a couple of good moves during that last failure that didn't make a new. It made a new low, but it didn't continue. I did go long really heavy, and then there was another good short. And also Nvidia helped me out quite a bit too. I got a good short in Nvidia. Alright, so what do we have here? We have a low that couldn't continue. It looks like it was a sweep. So I put in the light size here. I want to look for this thing to hold. So this is a good sweep. We're above the 15-minute range from yesterday. If the subsequent candle comes back in here, we're going to add. Yeah, look at that shit. That's pretty much the bottom, isn't it? So we can look for a target up here. But let's not count our chickens yet. And see, once this is done, if I can go back and show the trades from yesterday, because I do want to show that. It'll look like a mess, because I just went back and forth all over the place there. Okay. Can get a settlement up here. Could also work as if it sweeps here again, leaves a bottoming tail, and then goes up. We can go long again. No, this is doing the opposite of what the market's doing. The market lost what it had yesterday, met up to reach the low point, and then it's rolling over right now, so we'll have to see. That might be a concern. The target is the 70% of the ATR up here. Big profit yet. Maybe I should have, but I'm trying to accumulate myself right now. And stop is below this. But this is not... This needs a hold here. I don't want anything below this candle. Well, that wouldn't be outside of the realm of bullshit that they do. Kind of like yesterday when they made a lower low 4 times, but there was no continuation. And they made a lower high multiple times until they broke through it. So it's not entirely out of the realm. Yesterday was a fucking mess. That was a nightmare to trade. Should have just left after that first 15-minute getting stuck with no movement. We had to trade it, but we did too many trades in that range. Market is dropping, so maybe this is gonna work out for us. Let's see. There's a concern here. We're not holding. Topping tails here, but it's major flush here. Yeah, it's bad. Let's see if this closes. So they might make a lower low and then reverse it, because my bias is still up if they can hold this area. Alright, I gotta let that go. And it could bounce off of here as well. But this candle, I didn't want that taken out. Got my level slightly wrong too. I should have had it right there. Oh. Okay, so we're positive again. I want to see this thing pull back in to retest. Then I'll re-add those 300 shares. We did 600 that time. The other thing that could happen is a break up and above and then retest from this way. But if it can't break up and above, I want to see this one get held. So my mistake there was not having the right level structure. I should have had it above the body. That took us to a low, but I was looking at the purple line, which was the closing high of yesterday. Alright, pull in, baby. So now our stop is here, and if this gets taken out, we're done for the day. Because this is going to be real shitty if it dies. What we got here? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ah, shit. Come on, baby. A little bit more aggressive today after yesterday, because I need to be in order to hit that goal. Come on, man. And push back pretty hard. Keep it above the open. Making it really tough. Son of a bitch. Alright. Up and above, the fact that it couldn't do that is bad. Pretty swiftly. Nice tail. Hopefully that has some momentum for Tesla. I don't know what Nvidia is doing. I was gonna look for an Nvidia short too. Not quite time yet. For a breakthrough, man. We can get a breakthrough targets up here, and that should be a good day. Alright. If the Legend of Zelda sounds happen, then that's a good thing. Shit, did it again, huh? Can't hold that level, so I'm not gonna add or do anything. It might wait for the 15 minutes of... There might be a possibility... Or the, it might wait for the moving average. There might be a possibility of just getting grinded. Buddy, shit. You needed a hold here. You didn't want that type of drop-off. Pick up our lines a little bit. Alright, baby, come on. Alright, so we need to hold this top area here. Let's hear Zelda again. Profit target's a green line. I was saying yesterday it was a fucking mess, but since I already have the highlight reel done for the month, I don't have any games that I really want to start. So day trading, haven't done that for a little bit, just to keep myself live. Let me know if I sound okay too. Microphone's having a little bit of issues this morning. Still suck here, but it hasn't killed my reason for being in it. Still going with the trend, but anything can happen. Another large ignition bar. A couple times there we could have had at least 200 bucks. But if it had exploded, then there would be no way to get a good entry cost average again. Unless you're hoping that it would somehow break again. Than I was yesterday. I like to wait the first 15 minutes to a half hour, but everything was kind of setting up for this thing to its movement early on. So we need this to hold here. I don't want any bullshit. It needs to break through. You've already swept and hit those stops early. So final target is up here. So let's see what we get. Ah, my nuts are numb. Shit, I need to change my seating position. Give me a second. Ever get numb nuts? Alright. Damn, that really hit. Like what you feel when you have a numb leg, but it's your sack. Alright. Of course, waiting for that crap to transpire was annoying. So 180, 125 is our final take profit. Hopefully we can get up that high.
Crush the boys. Watch your step, mate.
Boys. That's a good show. Ink fill up. If we have another day like this tomorrow, we might be able to hit our goal. We're frustratingly close, but yesterday did not help me. And we've taken 2 more losses this month than I'd like, but because we were able to manage our losses better, those, how many do I have this month? I have 7 losses and 13 wins. So the best I can be able to do this month is a 68% win rate if I win out the last 2 days. Alright, so I'm gonna take off another lot here, because it might pull back. We're getting a nice leg here. But let's see if we get to 800. I could also call it quits at 800 as well, because I needed to average 800 2 days in a row. It's completely doable, by the way. So we need another day like this. Pick up, and then some consolidation to create a level, and then get above that level and to continue higher. Otherwise, what would happen is the reverse, where you get some consolidation and then a drop down just as fast as you went up. So we were waiting for this to happen, and it's been stuck in this range. So I thought it was going to make a higher high here. It didn't. It made an inside bar, but it couldn't close below, so I still had a bias higher. And then we had a bar that completely wiped things out, and so we're making lower low. But I watched low here, it wasn't broken. So okay, I got some profit there. This one, again, they tested the low, it couldn't close, and then did it again yesterday, but multiple times around that area. Today I couldn't really get a good entry because everything happened within the first 15 minutes. It didn't go any higher, and because it couldn't go any higher and it threatened to break multiple times, I was just thinking it was going to roll over. I mean, it faked out a long entry and a short entry yesterday, but now that we have the confirmation of being above yesterday's high, now we can see this thing run. So that's the logic behind that type of daily bias. You're gonna at least give me 800 here. So I can just completely concentrate without having to narrate everything that I do. Because it gets... you don't want to... I've done streams like that before, where I'm like sitting here for 6 hours, like not saying anything, and just kind of like swearing to myself. So there's streams of that. You know, me reversing massive losses, but I don't like to just sit there and, you know, it's not entertaining to do that. As far as I'd like. Have a high here, we need to get it above. So this is the consolidation I was talking about. We need to wait for this thing to break up and above and then move higher. But if it can't, the reverse is going to be a quick move to the downside. It needs to hold somewhere. To see this thing break down, I'm probably gonna unload on some of these shares and then just re-add half of it back once it resumes the upwards move. Let's see, NQ has a nice tail bar, so we need to see if it holds that low. Buddy, so you poked your head above and you couldn't do it. That's not good. Calm here, wait for an actual break of that low. It didn't break that low, it retested it, so I'm still trying to see if it breaks above this high and kind of holds it so we can have next move up. But this is exactly what I said I wanted to see. I wanted to see some type of consolidation after a leg. And then we need to hold the top of that and move higher. And ultimate goal is still this green line, which is the 70% of the average true range. And I target that because it's something that's more likely to happen than not. And you can still have, you know, extra take profits above, but don't expect, you know, don't expect the world all the time. But this one had a really nice, day about a month ago. No, it was earlier this month. 521 had a almost 2x what its normal move is. That would have been nice to be in. But you never know when that's gonna happen or if it's gonna just die off. Alright, so we are breaking up and above, so we want to see a close here and then a kind of a pullback. Okay, so we have 800. Let me take off another lot here. Alright, so let's see what we got. We're at $919 in 20 minutes. Get up to 1,000. Actually, you know, we're up so high here, I think I want to stop around 1,000 or at least drop it. I know that's a little bit of a cop-out, but because I'm in the position that I'm in right at the close of the month, I kind of want to, I know it's a cop-out to do that, but I need to secure these gains. With a couple of these things, because I can always, if it drops back, I can easily make $100 or so, but I want to make sure that if I can keep 1,000, that'd be awesome, because that really makes my job easier tomorrow to close off the month. Area hold. Well, making up for what happened yesterday. Kind of embarrassed myself online, but you can't win them all the time. So this is gonna be a massive win after that recovery that I did. And I record everything, so if you want footage of that whole recovery process, that long several hours of me breathing and kind of swearing under my breath, I could show it to you. As long as I have drive space, I have all...
Mate. Ready to unleash some verbal chaos.
You're just here for the cursing? Well, you missed a lot of it yesterday.
Grins.
Because I didn't... I left after I was down over $1,000 getting in that shop area. And, you know, I did what I could. I knew I wasn't going to reverse everything, so once I got it below 400, took a nap. So I still have 300 shares here.
Getting frisky with the compliments, mate. Ready to dominate the day. Let's conquer the market and those cute tails.
Well, at least I didn't kill myself like that guy.
A bit of Linkin Park clearance,
good music, though.
mate. A classic tune. Ready to dominate the day with some musical vibes. Grins.
Always a domination with you, Jupiter. What the fuck happened? Dominate. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and dominate that toilet. This is the pullback I was expecting. I want to see it hold here. Hell, we could probably even add another 100 shares or so, but I don't want to add too much because our cost average is really great. My expectation is going to hold until the moving average kind of creeps up. Now, the moving average isn't a great basis, is not a good basis to base trades off of. I know Oliver Velez does that, and I think it's horseshit. But if you combine that with a price level where price is consolidating, then it becomes something. A lot about, because I was using his strategies for a really long time, and they're just not consistent. He's a really good speaker and motivational, which makes you think that what he's saying is some type of proper... I don't want to say what's proper or what's not proper, it just didn't work out well for me. I mean, I was making some gains, but not as much as using this leveling system. It's similar to what Mule Skinner in Cotton Candy Trades uses, but they don't have like a moving average indicator or a few of the other things that I look for. But you always make it your own. It's never, you don't just buy a course and
from King Phillips.
yeah, you need to find what's
Ready
working
to
for you and
conquer
your
with
style,
our
because a
unique
lot of it,
style.
because it's
Let's
psychological,
dominate those
you
trades
need to
without
work around your
limitations.
psychological
Wins.
issues.
Preach it, King Phillips. Originality is key. Ready to dominate.
Yeah, trying
the
to
market
replicate
with
someone
our
else's
own
foolish,
flair.
you're not going to play their
Let's
game,
conquer
you
with
need to
our
play your
unique
game.
approach.
But it is a good basis for thinking about things. Alright, so let's get this thing out of the way, please. Let's make a new high. Let's hit the ATR, and let's see if we can play with the last 100 or so. So right there. Why am I holding down the market? I mean, I had this thing sitting here, and this thing just touches it. See, this is another thing about simulators, man. Simulators, I probably would have gotten filled there. When you're doing the real thing like this, you're gonna have the price action touch your order multiple times. So I guess it hadn't really. I'm looking at the price ladder. It hasn't touched. This is a new space, but case in, my point still remains that if you're in a simulator, it's still fills always happen instead of just brushing. Like sometimes you get partial fill, sometimes you there's other orders there that get filled before yours, even though it hit your price target. But I'm looking at the price ladder that's behind the chat box, and it hasn't quite hit that. It's off by a penny. There we go. Now we got there. So let's go up to the ATR here. Once we get to the ATR, I'm going to keep that last 100 shares just to play around with, and then we'll just kind of call it good on trading. I don't want any failures here. I don't want any large failures that I'm not going to hold through it, so I might flatten as well. I just want to keep these gains, man. Yesterday was that was something else. I hadn't experienced that this month. I've been good with chop, but that was a 15-minute chop. It was the whole move was done in 15 minutes, and then it went nowhere, and it was just real tricky. I've gotten a lot better about chop, as you can watch for the real breakouts, but when it comes to like a price action all maintained inside of just this one range, I get not as good. But that was a training moment. Alright, buddy, you gonna hit your ATR or not? I'm getting ready to flatten. We can always re-enter down here. Pussing out on that last order. Oh, I want to see a large takeout bar. Here we go. Okay. Doesn't mean much until it closes, but during a reversal, you're looking for 2 closes below a level. You want it to go short, but you'd also want to be cautious, because unless it breaks a low that was settled in that level, then you gotta look out for a reversal. Hold this level here. We made a new high. Uh-oh. Okay. Let's see if this is just gonna be a sweep before reverses or not, or I'm gonna have to flatten. Okay. I'll come back down here and reattempt. So I'm watching this thing like a hawk. Tesla's actually moving up higher today, and the market's kind of lingering around.
No morning talk, mate. Ready to dominate 24/7. Let's conquer the day with some badass
Hey,
energy.
carpet!
Grins.
Because this is what I was telling you about. You're getting two closes below that top half, or the top of that level here, to signal a reversal. Nope. So if it can stay above, that's a good thing. But if it closes below again, I'm gonna have to watch to see if that candle's low gets taken out. I'll get taken out here. Watching it here. Well, you could always do that too. I'm fine with that. There we go. We secured the top of that level. We've broken through the ATR. This is where I would take my final profits, but because I pushed out on that last order lot, I kind of want it to run a little bit more. So let's get up here. Come on, bitch. Room here to see if we can get one more explosion. What's the data look like now? Data looks real good.
Got your eyes on that number, mate. Ready to dominate with precision. Let's
Further
conquer
continuation of the
target
upside
like a boss.
tomorrow.
Grins.
You're looking for 805.14. What are you in right now? Because you sold off VIRC day before yesterday.
NTPL, huh? Ready to dominate the position.
The entry
Let's
position,
conquer the
but you
market
do
with a
you.
strategic move.
We'll look at that in a
Grins.
second once we close off. Right here. Alright, so within 30 minutes before most people have taken their morning shits at work, we've made $1,171. There's probably more to be gained here, but I really needed today so I can kind of catch back up. So, originally a carpet, well not originally, but a little bit ago you were in VIRC. You were in down here, you had a really good entry, and then you got to the first profit target, but you didn't take profits here. And then I said you could take profits on the next level
Ready to
here,
dominate the
and you
day.
had an opportunity to
Let's
take
conquer
profits
the
here,
market
you
with
didn't.
that good vibe.
It came back down
Grins.
here and you did it, you know, back on the first
The
level, and then
wild
that's a
card.
good thing you got
Mate.
out because it just
Ready to dominate
flushed
those
down
unexpected
below.
moves. Let's conquer with
So let's look at
agility in the
TPL.
market. Grins.
So TPL actually isn't that bad. So you have a level down here, add an igniting bar here. It's held above the halfway point of that bar and left a bottoming tail yesterday. So it's gonna make a run to try to break above here, but then we're gonna want to see it close above and kind of hold this. And your price target was 850, you say? It's got a lot of work to do before it even gets up to that point. So you're essentially almost looking for it to hit a new high before you're taking profits, which could happen, but it's not going to happen within, you know, the 2 weeks that you're usually holding these things for. Taking out what pulled back when it closed below that previous level. It has a 90 bar that completely wiped it out, and it's been holding above it, so it's definitely bullish right now. But think about it getting to 850. I mean, I know you say you hold these things long term, but you haven't held anything yet for as long as you said you were. You've had a sick run, though. But I think, so your entry isn't bad. You're still in a good position. 850 is just going to take a while. And your positioning was pretty much perfect. Your original entry was perfect. That was nice. That was incidentally perfect. You weren't planning on it, but it was good. And then, yeah, TPL, okay. It's pretty good. But 850 is just going to be a while.
Ready to dominate with versatility.
You're a bit of a wild card. One day you'll stick to something.
Grins. IBM taking a nosedive.
And King Philip thinks IBM went to shit. I think it's been shit for years.
Let's conquer the market with resilience. Grins.
Oh, fuck.
Looking to jump back in, mate? Ready to dominate the market. Let's conquer those trades with a strong comeback.
So,
Grins.
level here. And breaking down. What's the next, See, the problem is here, I guess you could have this as a level as well. You're looking for where price consolidates, and then you're looking for where that retest happens. So I guess you have this area here, but if it breaks below this, you have a leg.
Lasting longer than trades.
And what can happen is the leg just takes it all the way down to the next price target point, because
Grins.
The price action likes to
prioritizing
kind of magnetize
Ready to
two levels, which is why day trading even works, so you can
Grins.
have a
shorting for the
percentage of win rate
ready to
based off of that overall type
Let's
of
those shorts like
price action effect that you see in the market. Alright, I'm gonna turn them off. I'm gonna turn off.
Ready to dominate in both heart and trades. Let's conquer with passion and profits.
Conquer, dominate. And he's talking over me. So the overall strategy is to look for price levels, and price levels tend to move between, or prices move between levels like a magnet. And when you get something that's like a leg, when you have a leg up, you typically get a leg down. It doesn't always happen, but it's something that you can initially target. So if it does break down below this level, you're probably going to get a decently smooth move to the downside. But if it doesn't happen that way, then you're looking for some type of consolidation to create a new level here where there's a space, and then you can base your entry and exit off of that. Like I said, it doesn't work all the time. You just have enough percentage on your side to kind of edge out your losses, and you're basically grinding all the time. So we can call today a success, but yesterday was a mess. Let's see if I can get my orders up from yesterday so we can go through it. I'm going to try to show my trades again. Let's see if it loads. Aggregate by 5 minutes, it'll drop it. So you don't see when I'm streaming, it doesn't capture everything on the interface here. It's not showing my damn orders, man. What about if I show 2 minutes? For today. 15 minutes. That might be too much. There we go, so now we have a swing high. So it got up to 85% of its range. Tomorrow, we'll just have to see what happens. I'm gonna need another day similar to today. We're up, $200 more than I need, so I don't have to have quite as good of a day tomorrow. But, you know, we're so frustratingly close. The beginning of the month started out pretty well, then I had a series of losses, one which was preventable, and then it's just been kind of a grind. So right now we're at 14 wins and 7 losses. So damn close to the, Oh, hold on a second. How much do I need tomorrow? Let me add up again. Because I reduced the loss from yesterday, I actually... So actually, we're only 400. We're only 400 away from the from my monthly target, so that's gonna be easy. I can just do that tomorrow. Yeah, sorry, I missed a few of the. I was going off in the. Yeah, it's breaking down. It broke below the low. The warning sign was a break below the body, but now it's broken below the tail, so now it's all going to shit. So we got out. Let me see what Nvidia's doing, because that was going to be the trade of a lifetime. I don't think today is the right day for it. I think this is like a consolidation day. It's going to be a pretty damn crazy short, but they might just hold it around here until the split, in which case that'll kind of defeat the purpose. And this is a really good day. When things work out, like the theme song. Suck my dick, suck my dick, suck my motherfucking dick. Reading Chad. I think I've stuck with my boyfriend longer than TPL and VIRC. That's true. Yeah, you haven't talked about that for a while, so I'm glad things are working out there. I know it's sometimes it's hard to sync up schedules. Kingfield is up 300. SPX is breaking down. Yep, we see that. You're looking for 38 times net income of 2023. Holy shit. I just want to pay off my bills for a year doing day trading. Just to know I made it. Because this is all I do now. We're getting better, but my expenses are large. We essentially need to have a day like this every day. For me to have, like, pay off everything and have a savings and a huge buffer. I can go out and eat filet mignon and lobster tail every day like I want. A Lambo and eating filet mignon with lobster tail while getting my dick sucked going 200 miles an hour. That's the life of a dragon. $400. I have miscalculated. I was basing that off of the loss that we had yesterday before we were able to tear it down. So $400 tomorrow, and I did it again. But we want more than that. I mean, I can't just keep breaking even. I'm kind of relying on my Bitcoin and gold, silver holdings for my investment stuff. Silver really had a breakout, and so did Bitcoin. anyone actually gives a fuck. Oh, that was just today's. It didn't show... Oh, come on, dude. Show me yesterday's. Because I have it all on the same screen. Man, it took forever to download those orders. HCC I'm interested in as well. I think they have potential for good gains. Fair value is 147.05. Let's see what HCC looks like. BM HCC Warrior Met Pole. Alright, what do we got on HCC then? We have the swing high. Below. We have an area of resistance here where price kind of consolidated and couldn't hold. So I want to see it break up and above here, but it's failed twice, so it might come back down here. If it holds around this $63 area, then that'd be a possible entry, but it is kind of declining, or at least hanging around. We're still above the zero line if you care about the moving average convergence, divergence. But you wouldn't want to enter, like, right here, willy-nilly. Oh, we're so close to a high here. I'm scared about anything with entering a high at this point, because, the market... I mean, it's been looking like it's buckling for a while, but it made a new high just recently. But we're still looking for the downside move. Like here, I honestly thought it was going to go down lower, but it consolidated here, it broke down, found a basis point, and then broke up and above to a new high. There's a lot of mixture of forces here. You know, the declining purchasing power of the dollar, plus inflation, you know, things have to keep up with inflation, so you're going to see inflated stock prices as well, trying to make up the value of what you're losing in purchasing power. So you had a little bit of that causing this type of reaction too, but they also had strong earnings from Nvidia and Microsoft, so that also plays a part into it. But there's a mixture of forces here, but I mean, there's headwinds that are just really shitty. The deficit, inflation's still really high, which means you're going to need some high unemployment, which is going to cause deflation as people can't afford, won't be able to afford things if they're out of work, and that'll play a part in a market pullback, and that's got to happen soon. Definitely the tech industry is getting a lot harder to get a job in. I've been having problems for a while. I had to start applying again when I couldn't hit my goal by December to be consistently hitting my goal. I've been consistently profitable since October, but I always had a other than March, I've always had a little bit of a gap between what I got and what I needed that I've had to pay off from other sources, so... Action now. But I need to have some bigger breakout days. $800 to $1,000 days like today. So at least it ran up to target, so we're fortunate in that case. But we were worried right here, which is why I was looking at it really intently. But as long as it stays above the high of the previous day, you're still going to look for a higher high tomorrow. But I'm going to be cautious tomorrow just so I can get that $400 and get the fuck out. Good to have a comeback after yesterday. I don't know if I lost respect from having a losing day, but losing days happen all the time. TPL's average net income divided by its assets and liabilities is 53%. 2023 they did 38%, which is where I get. I thought you were talking about yourself. I didn't know you were talking about TPL a little bit earlier. I'm looking at whichever is the smaller of the two numbers. That makes sense. A little conservative there. Level. We could try to do another 100 shares. Low. Move up and above. Came back down and held. You could have entered in here, but I was talking through it. You would have wanted to smash buy it. Wow, the fucking order flows, or not order flow, but the order show trades thing is really stupid in this. So it disappeared and then it came back. My account is now on Charles Schwab because they bought out TD Ameritrade. So there's slight differences. Good to be profitable. Oh. I already made my money today. No reason to stick your dick in crazy again. AC has an average of 14%. In 2023, they were at 19%, so you're looking at 14x their net income as a market cap goal. Macro numbers of anybody, and then their evaluations are multiples of their actual asset value, so everything is just when you start doing day trading and you see the games that they play with price, all of it's horseshit. Every single piece of this thing is horseshit. A lot of liquid farts. See, that's what I was asking if I was if my sound was fine. Alright, because we had a problem with, why the fuck didn't you say anything? Anybody, earlier. Long hood? Thank you for telling me, Carpet. Robin Hood? I mean, everybody's a free broker nowadays. Why is this thing popping up? Where's Robin Hood in the Well, no stopping this train right now. It has to find a new, It's been such a long time since it's been up this high. Fuck. It's reaching heights not seen since 2021. So any level that I create here might not be significant. So we got one right here. So it's got a while to move. So we're at $22, it's gotta go up to at least almost 24. Holy shit, it was $6. But, I did start day trading on Robinhood, but I don't count that as, like, I don't count that as part of my 5 years. But I did day trade on Robinhood and then stopped for a while and then got a real platform and started doing that while I was working. Because I could just see what was happening. I mean, even before ChatGPT came out of nowhere and kind of, ChatGPT and Midjourney, things like that, coming out of nowhere and kind of fucking people. I was already doing automation just with Windows services and getting people laid off that way. And now it's tough for me to get in, so it's a good thing I have another skill. One that doesn't have me beholden to anybody but myself. Where you're living on the dole of somebody else. You're doing the whole interview process and then playing politics and all that shit. This one's a true meritocracy. Now, this is the greatest thing you could be doing, and so few people actually can make it work consistently. But it has everything that I'd want out of making an income. Something that's independent, scalable. There's so much to like about it, but there's also a lot of horse shit too. But I'd still prefer doing this than sitting in traffic, doing the office politics thing, getting bored, doing shit that you don't like to do. First world problems. Could be a Nigerian mud hut maker or some shit like that. I'm reaching, I'm just making shit up, but you know what I mean. So again, it retested and swept the low to hold this level, but it did fake out a breakdown. And actually it was kind of a scary thing. It does like have an overall, you know, it does have an overall incline in price, but they can really trick you out. So you were getting a lot of this yesterday where it's freaking faking out a breakdown, because he had a... Well, I guess it didn't have two complete closes below. I had one here, but then it went up and above. Broke down, had one close here, but then it got peaked above here. Still had peak. Still, yeah, so I guess it's not like a clear cut breakdown. This one is. So we might have seen the high with that 85%, but we gotta see. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I was just trying to reach for something I don't want to do in a tough environment. Yeah, I saw that Berkshire Hathaway sold 12% of their Apple. That's pretty big. Oh, there we go. Now we have another attempted breakdown here. What's Prego Biddy's CCL doing? I know you're completely out of it now. So we look at CCL on the daily. It did hold and put it in the bottoming tail bar on this level it needed to hold, but it's still kind of chopping along. This shouldn't have happened, this drop off from the reversal. So it's still not a good long yet. And now today it's not continuing. It did make a higher high, but it wasn't able to close it, so it might just break down again. You're reading about a woman who was adopted in the US, and she didn't know who her birth parents were, but knew that they were from Africa. She hired a private investigator and found that her father was king of a small nation and without an heir. Holy shit! You talking about a fucking Disney movie, or one of those, feel-good movies of something that's absurd, an absurd situation. Looks like we got a real story behind it, so I'm waiting for the Netflix adaptation of that right now. Where's my fucking relative that's ruler of an island nation? Or a small nation. I'll take an island. We'll just go around eating coconuts and banging all day, and that's all we'll do. Let the whole world just go into nuclear fallout, and we'll just fuck and eat coconuts on this island. Disregard civilization, bang and eat coconuts instead. 28, and in fact, she is a princess. Well, most little girls think they're princesses, but only one gets to be one.
Uncle gets on the phone and goes, "You're..."
Alright, let me put this thing up here. Yeah, you're right. I don't like coconuts. I don't know why I said coconuts, but it is an island thing. I like bananas better. But, like, if I have coconut topping on, like, a pastry or something, I don't really like it.
I know you don't want to see Donald Trump retake the White House. I know you don't want a nationwide ban on abortion. I know you don't want
Hold on, we gotta
major
see this.
cuts to Social Security and Medicare. In this election, we each face a question. What kind of country?
Alright,
And then
fuck
my
you.
uncle gets on the phone and goes,
Actually, I don't want
"Americans
anybody. I
are
think
princesses
everyone's
in
an
this
asshole, and...
And I was like, wait a second, what?
Man, if I was a prince, holy shit. We'd probably go bankrupt because I'd be spending all our money on hookers.
When I was first adopted, my sister's friend looked over me and she says, "Now wait a second. Is she black or does she just have a really good tan?" My sister said, "This is my new little baby sister, Sarah. She's part West African and part white American." And they were like, "Oh, okay." I had found my birth mother's family when I was in my first year of graduate school and my early 20s. So I found out she'd passed away of cancer. I really got to meet this amazing family and started to learn about my birth mother, and I got to meet her sister, which was really, really cool. And then I realized, well, what was it like to be an African man in the 70s with a white woman in West Virginia having a child? Maybe I should give this guy a break, right? So the moment I
She's pretty decent looking,
got out
too.
of my own way and
So
opened
she
myself
definitely fit the
up
role
and
of
was like,
a
wait a second,
leader.
what has his life been like? Why don't I
Seems
walk in his
decently
shoes for a
smart,
moment? A
too.
whole new, it's like, I don't know, it may sound crazy, but like this yellow brick road opened up, so to speak.
Wow,
wrote a
good
letter.
handwriting. I can't
4
handwrite.
days later, I get a phone call. And there's this woman on the other line, and she says, "Hello, Sarah. This is your Auntie Evelyn. How are you?" And I froze. And then my uncle gets on the phone. He goes, "Oh, Sarah, we are so happy you've been found. Do you know who you are?" And I'm like, "I'm Sarah?" He says, "You are part of a royal family. Your great-grandfather was a paramount chief. Your uncle runs a chiefdom of 45,000, now 70,000.
Holy fuck.
Chief. You are considered a princess in this country." And I was like, wait a second, what? He said, "We're going to contact your father in Sierra Leone. He's going to be so happy to meet you." I get off the airplane and I see my birth father sitting there and standing there, actually so statuesque and so nervous. And it's like his eyes were talking to me in that moment, is as if they were saying, "Please like me, please accept me, please like me." And it was so beautiful. We took a ferry over that night, stayed
Tesla's
in a
breaking
small
down.
hotel, and then there was a knock at the door the next morning from my father, and he gave me this beautiful green African dress. And he said, "Sarah, I would love for you to wear this green African dress into our family's village tomorrow." And I said, "I would love to." And as we arrive in the village, there are 100, 200, 300, hundreds of people to welcome me. And then all of a sudden, everyone parts. And all the women of the village come forward wearing the same green dress that I had been given. And they were singing. They were singing, "But a tang, 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 but a tang, 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 Panadu, adu, way, pura, Sarah, go to." They were singing, "We're preparing for Sarah." And I had never met anyone there in my entire life. I was literally pinching myself. And I hadn't won the basketball game. I wasn't the homecoming queen. I just showed up, and that was enough. And it was so exciting and so special.
11-year Civil War. Jesus. Oh, God.
They had celebrations for the next couple days. And then I got to tour around the campus.
She has a chance to
Boompeh High School.
be the branch of
And
peace.
my grandfather helped build the school years ago, and I started to see what happened after an 11-year Blood Diamond War. I saw people with missing arms, missing legs. I saw the roof that had been ripped off the top of the dining hall. And the reality set in that this is wonderful that I've come to meet my family, but I realized that's actually not what this trip is really about. I can't go back to the United States and go, "Oh gosh, I hope you guys work this out."
See you guys later.
This is my family. This isn't the Blood Diamond movie that I can put pause on and just walk away. This is my family, and we've got to do something.
Wow. Sounds like a Disney movie. Yep, they're currently in talks to make a Disney movie. Didn't I call that? Just as predictable as the stock market.
I know all this didn't happen for no reason. For people of color, and specifically African Americans, we don't often get taught because people don't know about the continent, and we don't know about our African roots. And so we're only taught about slavery, which tends to make me go, "Oh gosh, not another slavery movie," even though it's an important part of our
Even
history.
they're sick of it.
All of it. And I think what can be great about this movie is that it can actually take us back to knowing, like, we didn't all come here as slaves. We were Africans, mothers, fathers, doctors, lawyers, healers, everybody, and then made slaves. And there's this missing piece that I feel like I want African Americans to know who we are, like where we all come from, because it's been so long and we've been disconnected, but it's really our origin.
That's crazy, dude. Yeah, I'm sure Disney had a hard on once they heard of her story. I mean, the story's got diversity, and it's got the princess thing, so I mean, that thing is just all over it. And Prego Biddies, go find out if you're adopted. Maybe you're a princess in another African country, and then we can all go live with you. Alright, wow, Tesla has really broken down here. Holy fuckamolies. Wow. Good thing we got out, huh? Holy butt. Stuff. Damn. You know all those gains you had? Wouldn't it be a shame if someone took them away? Do you like to be a prince? Well, you said you had family royalty on one side of the family in Europe, right? I vaguely remember that story. God damn that drop off. Holy crap, man. What's Netflix or Nvidia doing? Huh. This might have actually been the better play. We're still not ready yet, but we're getting close. That's a pretty good dump today, but I think we could probably do a retest and then drop off. But there's very few days left before it does a stock split, and that'll kind of invalidate that. Because the ATR isn't going to be that big once it splits. But you can buy more shares of it, but... Great-grandmother was Borthwick. There's a castle in Scotland that every Borthwick is descended from. Who owns it now? Who owns the castle? Probably some type of tech company guy or a businessman. So this is where I would have expected the reaction point. The 15-minute, 20-period moving average. You can see it. It's not quite there yet. It's going to go drop again. It's going to have a secondary drop-off, and I think it's probably going to consolidate here and move up from there. But we're right off. Oh, we're also right at the high level of yesterday, too. So it's going to want to have to hold that. If it can't, then it's going to go down tomorrow, or at least chop sideways. This is a really significant pullback today. Man, so it swept the highs and it couldn't do it. So this is, yeah, it's going to go lower tomorrow, or at least consolidate sideways. This is not good. Couldn't hold it. I only need $400, so let's not go for the world tomorrow. So very close. Whoever owns it now converted it into an event space. So this is interesting because Dan Pena did that. He's a businessman. He's a motivational speaker now. He bought Guthrie Castle, and now he uses that as an event space for weddings and stuff. But he also lives there too. Occasionally, he uses it as a huge marketing thing. But he does also rent it out for events. So a lot of people bought up castles and started doing that type of shit with it. It's fascinating how many lower levels of royalty also had some type of castle. I don't want to say lesser is not the right word, but you know, not like the main king. You just had like these highly respected people that also had them. I want to buy Count Dracula's castle, and I want to live high up in the mountain. And peer down on the world. Maybe crucify some people, or at least put a stake in their butt. I'm just fucking around, man. We already made money today, I can say what I want. That is quite the reversal, though, man. That is insane. Oh my god. See what I said? I said it was going to pull back to the 15-minute, 20-period moving average, and that's exactly what it did, so you could have shorted right there as well. Wow, I didn't have that on my bingo card. So now we've broken below yesterday's high, so if we close here, tomorrow's going to be a drop-off too. It's probably going to do a retest of that area and then a rollover, depending on how far we go down. Oh my god, complete reversal day. So this is where it usually screws me up. Like, if I didn't hit my goal already... my expectation is to find some type of balance. But about a quarter of the time each month, there's what I put down on my notes. I reference it as a complete reversal, where the price action breaks below the open... breaks below the low, which is usually around the open price, and continues lower. Because the expectation is that you've made support, because you have multiple levels up here, but it just trashed all of them. Absolutely insane. So, referencing the daily again. Man, yeah, it really needed to close above yesterday's high. It still could do that, but it has lost so much momentum now. That is just a spectacular drop-off. And Nvidia is still within the yesterday's price action, so it's not quite where we want it to pull off that short. Anyway, I'm done with the market. I mean, if anybody has questions, I'll hang out for a few minutes. Made up for yesterday and then some. But I would have preferred to have 2 less losses this month. I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow. I'll probably want 100% of my concentration so I can hit my goal. I only need $400, but I want to be able to exceed that so I can, start building more of a buffer. Please stream tomorrow. There's a lot on the line tomorrow. You know, I have to hit my goal for the month, and I'm $400 away. I should have hit it earlier this week because I had such a massive Monday, and then yesterday kind of sidetracked. Or not Monday, Tuesday. I had a massive Tuesday, and then yesterday sidetracked it. I didn't need that loss that I took. I don't know, man. It's too much on the line, and I don't want to talk while I'm trying to get that last bit. But it's nice being done within 30 minutes. So ideally, I'd be done in 30 minutes and make $1,000 every day, but that's not possible. We've had multiple $1,000 days this month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've had 5 days over $1,000, and we've had multiple around the 800 area. So it's been a pretty good month, but I've had more losses than my average. So we managed the, that's the main thing. You gotta be a good loser, and if you're a good loser, then you're probably gonna make it. in the trading business. Unbelievable drop-off. Jesus. Oh, so if I wasn't comfortable with my gains, I could have shorted here. I know I said long, but then we would have gotten stopped out, and then we would have reversed it and seen how far we would get. But why put the risk? You could have doubled your money there. That's almost like the complete... That's almost a complete move of what took us up here. So you can see how things work, how things kind of magnetize to levels. So on the way up, these red lines are the levels on the way up, and look what happened on the way down. It consolidated at the same spot, consolidation at the same spot, and then you have the leg down. So you can see that that kind of mechanic that I was explaining to you, how the prices magnetize to levels, and between levels it usually creates legs. And when you're on a level, you either go long or short, and then your first price target in between like levels like that is the upper point of that, the subsequent level. So if I was, so like right here, your initial take profit target would have been here. I mean, these levels weren't created here. I'm just saying, let's look at that the other way. So if I went short here, my first profit target would be here, because that's where the level was created, and same type of consolidation. So that's the pattern, and then, you know, it's not going to work out all the time, but it's going to work out enough, and you just make sure that you don't blow up your account when you're wrong, where you're getting frustrated and you're trying to impose your will on the market, because that's what really fucks you up, especially if you have pride, and I've been guilty of that many, many times. Getting better. But, you know, it's also a deeply ingrained psychological thing. So yeah, this is a really good stream. We called it as we saw it, we executed as we saw it, and got to demonstrate how the leveling system works. I got to show how prices magnetize, get pulled into specific levels depending on where they're going. And now we're in striking distance of hitting the monthly goal and keeping alive. Because like I said, I'm profitable every month. It's just a matter of making just enough to pay off all the bills. So either I needed a much larger account, or I just need to do a little bit better in performing. If my account was twice the size of the way it was, and even if I lose, I'd still have a shit ton of money, but I'd have to put in a lot more into this account. I only had one really bad day this month. Everything else, the losses were fairly controlled, so we did a good job there. Alright, any last questions? I don't really have much else on my list. I mean, I could play a game, but I usually use that footage for like the next highlight reel, so we'll start a new series of games next week. I think I'll probably do just stuff from the 90s. I had a request to do more pixel games, so we'll do a lot of that. And then I have an excuse to turn into my 16-bit form. Oh no, why isn't it working? Oh no! Uh-oh, we gotta fix that before next week. My hotkeys! Man, wouldn't it be crazy if it retraced all that way up again? Highly unlikely, but could have doubled your profit today. You made almost that entire move twice. So I'll wait a minute for any questions. Actually, we're gonna run into an ad, so I guess I won't. I'll wait till after the ad is done, I guess. Anyone at all? Any questions? Yeah, the more I look at this thing, the more I'm gonna want to trade it again. You just kind of have to shut off your platform and like touch grass, just so you don't get suckered in. Because every movement I see, I just see money coming out of it. Not really focusing on the consequences of getting back in. Damn, can't believe this. Fucking, oh my god! Holy fuck! Wow, we're having a really serious situation. Holy shit! Complete annihilation. Huh. Holy fuck, man. Looks like 1987. Damn. Why today? Gotta keep that shit for Mondays. God damn! Well, bias is lower tomorrow, if anyone asks. It's probably gonna re-attempt to hit the high of that, where that purple line is. I expect a retracement up there, a failure, and then a rollover, and I'll probably be shorting tomorrow. Unbelievable. Man, you could have gotten... double your profit today. But it was also probably likely that I... you know, on the way up you're expecting those levels to hold, and this just cut through them all like butter. We might have given some profit back trying to do until things actually... remember I told you to short Tesla at 178 and buy at 171. I do remember you said that, but I base things off of levels here, so let's see where 178 was. Well, it went up to 182, so I wouldn't have wanted to short at 178, because that would have been pretty bad. 178 is the top of these topping tails, and we blew through it. And then 171 is further down, so it's not That's not right. 171 is here, which is below the level to hold, and then 178 is right there, and we exceeded that. Damn. Everyone got clowned. I got clowned yesterday, getting the inside bar action, and then we got the breakout, and you think it's gonna hold, and then just cut through it. I can't believe it. Oh my god. That's why you get your profits and you get out. But on the other hand, I could have had over $2,000. Wow. You don't see that every day. So, Pregabides, are you actively looking for a job to set yourself up with before the thing runs out this month? Or is it next month? Or are you going to take some time to day trade since you'll have unemployment to play around with? Oh, good. They extended it. Vacation canceled. Yeah. Because you would have been out during the summer. Could have gone someplace nice, but, then you're gonna get out at the end of the year, where it's winter. But then again, you can just hide at home, so you don't have to drive around in the ice and snow trying to get to work. But you're remote, so I guess you didn't have to do that. But it would have been nice to have a paid summer vacation from the unemployment. But depending on how much you earn, maybe it's not enough. Unbelievable fall off. Got a bottoming tail here. It'll be interesting to see where it holds. Where would I estimate it would hold at this point? So what kind of levels do we have from yesterday? So we've tested this area 4 times and it held here. So, you know, one idea would be a retracement up here tomorrow, failure, rollover, and then playing between these 2 points. That's a possibility I'm looking at. Let me move this up to a 15-minute chart and see what we're doing. Oh my god, holy cow. Everyone's just selling. So we did have news today. What was it today? What was the news? Or what was the report? So today we had preliminary GDP numbers, unemployment claims, pending home sales, but that was a while back. Hold on, 8:30, so 8, 9, okay, okay, so the last one was at 10, so at 7 o'clock is when we should have had the rollover. And that's about where it happened, too, so that last report with the pending home sales was deeply negative. Unemployment went up a little bit, too. Yeah, the biggest change was the pending home sales. But that's, man, that really caused a cascade here, didn't it? Damn. But you can see where the possible bounce point is, that orange line. You can see a lot more clearly on the 15-minute. So that's the first possibility. It's already broken below a couple of things. I suppose you could also call this... I mean, if it gets above here and holds, that could also be one as well. But that's broken through so... with such strength. You're probably looking at some type of a... bounce around here. Damn. Nvidia's holding in there. It's still not at the trade of the lifetime yet. What about SMCI? That was the Nvidia sympathy play a while back. This one was an epic short, but I didn't get in on it. The actual data short, it happened when I was streaming, and I got carried away. I didn't look at it, so I missed out on that. But it looks like we have a market top. It's gonna test this blue line here, and then we're gonna see if it holds. Because I can always do a retest, but I don't know. I don't see it making another high, but I've been surprised by this market many times before, so... Alright, any questions from YouTube or Twitch people? Because I'm gonna have myself a burrito and fuck around, I guess. Because the more I look at this, the more I want to enter in. Oh, looks like we bounced here, huh? So we just need to hold that line, the red line that I just made. So went a little bit further in to grab some liquidity, but we can see if it holds. Waiting on someone to say something. Meanwhile, I'm gonna look for someone to raid then. Probably should do another VTuber, huh? Or do you want more stock stuff? Hardly anyone watches live day trading. You'd think people would want to get out of the rat race a lot more from all the amount of bitching that people do. But it's risky, so not everyone can do it. Oh shit, am I still on the wrong am I on fucking Stellar Blade? God damn it, you fucking idiot. You didn't change your you didn't change your goddamn thing, did you? Hold on a second. Cause I didn't see myself on Oh shit, fuck. Hold on a second, am I in the wrong category? Oh god damn it, what a fucking retard. Shit. How come no one told me I was on Stellar Blade? Damn it, that. I probably did the same thing yesterday, too. There's a lot of things to set up. So it makes it annoying to try to get everything right in the morning. I only noticed because I was looking for someone to raid, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not on this category. Stupid. Man, there is not many people that actually, watch trading. Hold on, actually I have something I wanted to watch. I'll put that up. So we can kill a few more minutes.
Multitasking skills, mate. Ready to dominate
Lurking
the
while
work and
twerking.
work. Let's conquer with
What
some
exactly
unique moves.
is your job
Yes.
again? Are you doing an OnlyFans
Relax,
stream
mate.
while
Ready to dominate the humor.
watching my
Let's
stream?
conquer those chuckles with style. Grins.
Trying to see if there's any Did we watch this one? This is 2 months ago. I don't think we watched it though. We might have watched it, but I'll put it up again. I always like this guy's shorts. Short videos.
First off, if you haven't made money with AI yet, don't worry. AI is
You
the
can
biggest
trust me. Look at my
wealth
hair.
Let's take a trip back in time and enjoy some Wall Street Bets trades that deserve to be remembered forever. Which I admit is ironic, because while cleaning up my folders, I found this entire dank trade script that I wrote up and then forgot to produce before I moved on to other projects. But luckily there's no such thing as a legendary Wall Street Bets trade going stale. It's time to dust off these tomes and start etching these tales into the annals of Wall Street Bets history so that these extraordinary trades are never forgotten. Boys and girls, it is my honor to bring you the dankest trades of Throwback Thursday. We're going
Hey,
to
it's
start
Thursday,
things off
too.
with something we typically don't
Perfect
see on
timing.
the internet. A woman. Named Toro Beb, this young woman appears to have done a significant amount of stress eating during the 2020 lockdowns, gaining weight uncontrollably fast. But she has since recovered by using an exotic method of weight loss called diet and exercise. So congratulations to Toro Beb on her strong glowback game. But this weight loss was only step one of her post-lockdown renewal plan. As a part-time social worker, baby Toro only made about $15,000 a year in take-home pay, leaving her largely impoverished.
Damn.
Further, with the inflation hitting hard, she needed monetary gains, lest her destitute condition only get worse. Luckily, through her career as a social worker, Toro Beb was exposed to information on cutting-edge medical testing for the development of new drugs. One in particular caught her attention. A company called Sealos Therapeutics, ticker SEEL, or SEAL, expected to complete a phase 2 clinical trial on a ketamine-based anti-suicide drug that is administered straight up the nose like liquid cocaine, or ketamine. This exciting drug candidate put SEAL on the cusp of a major source of fresh revenue. Trading at only $1, dropping stacks into SEAL shares was the obvious choice. No doubt, an effective anti-suicide medication would be in high demand, especially among young Gen Z and in Russia and Korea. In mid-September 2023, she slapped down about 16 months' salary on cheap shares, just before clinical trial results were due to be released. Surely, SEAL would announce outstanding results, sending its stock soaring over the moon. On September 21st, SEAL announced the exciting news. The drug worked wonderfully, with 0 patients dying during the trial, and better than expected results for at-risk patients. However, there were 2 problems. The first was that a side effect of this anti-suicide drug was twice the placebo rate of suicidal ideation, which is explicitly the opposite of this drug's intended effect. The second problem was that the company ran out of money to pay its clinical trial patients, leading to 73 out of 220 subjects quitting the test early. This prevented the study from reaching adequate sample size, invalidating the phase 2 trial, and also indicated the company was so broke that it couldn't even afford to run a clinical study. As a result of the botched trial, SEAL stock dropped 75% overnight. Torobeb's position and a year's salary.
This is why you have a stop loss, kids.
Her mental health was clearly impacted, as she was most recently
gap downs
seen writing
overnight.
Poetry, a sure sign
You
of
don't get
internal struggle.
activated.
But the fight for SEAL was not
Still
over,
open.
and their next anti-Alzheimer's drug worked great on monkeys. However, this got them only as far as presenting a poster at some school science fair, after which point they had to do a 1-to-30 reverse stock split just to remain listed on exchanges. And then the stock cratered back down to $1 anyway. This one, we're gonna call an L. Hang in there, Beb. It's not like you lost a lot of money or anything. Now, let's check out the hottest tournament since Globo Gym 2004. Legendary Wall Street Bets trader Sir Jackalot stopped fapping long enough to create Stonk Madness, a free stock-based ladder tournament that mimics the adrenaline-fueled feel of everyone's favorite basketball contest. Take your shot and put together a bracket 100% free. I've got number 2 seeded Coinbase going all the way and defeating 14 seeded Crocs in the big game to take home the trophy. Strong brackets have a lot to look forward to with some killer prizes, with a no-kidding Lambo for a perfect 63 wins, down to 42 if enough brackets get created. Outside of a perfect bracket, the winner will take home a litany of prizes from $1,000 of McDonald's to a Tesla Model 3. The next top 10 are on deck for AirPods, consoles, and other goodies, while numbers 11 through 20 collect a Wall Street Bets figurine. The more brackets get created, the larger the prize pool gets. With matchups like Coinbase versus Robinhood and AMD versus
I kind of wish I
Nvidia
got into
going head-to-head
YouTubes
in
because
the
they
first
have a lot
round,
of cool
Cinderellas
figures.
are sure to break some brackets as we
They're just
strive
kind of
for
like
the grand
odd
prize of a
franchises and
Lamborghini
things.
Huracan. This is a 100% free tournament and you've got nothing to lose. Let's have some fun at stonkmadness.com. And if you're craving some degeneracy after dark, check out Jackalot's app After Hour with over $200 million of verified positions on the line. Now, let's get back to the Wall Street Bets madness with throwback trade number 3. In 2019, while wallowing in a Swedish prison for fighting people outside of a burger joint, rapper A$AP Rocky went through self-reflection. He determined, OGs paved the way. I'm just following the blueprint. A$AP Rocky's homage to the OGs mirrors the sentiments of those Wall Street Bets users who have seen the sub grow and evolve through its humble origins, through its flop phase during the meme stock era, and finally as it carved its way toward actually being good again. But through it all, the sub's original motif never fully faded. Wall Street Bets is a sub where we seek those huge gains, even at the risk of our options dropping 99.8% with
Thinking to start cutting carbs. I need to drop
You
my
gave me an
belly
ad
fat.
and now you put me into a real ad.
If you want to drop
Motherfuckers.
this,
no bid. And no one exemplifies this theme better than user Sylvanas. As a longtime Redditor and Wall Street Bets OG, Sylph spent a lot of his early, presumably teenage years, posting about streamers, dropping cringe jokes, and discussing some video game called Hearthstone, which features the character Sylvanas Windrunner, which is probably where Sylvanas comes from. But our man matured and recognized he was getting no engagement on his jokes, and therefore a future career as a comedian was never meant to be. So instead, he pivoted to something more enticing: Wall Street Bets. In the autumn of 2018, Silvana shared some of his earliest trades, which included approximately $3,000 positions on Tesla, Amazon, and Nvidia. These were good stocks to buy when Nvidia was trading for about $65 on a split-adjusted basis, and Tesla at an $18 split-adjusted basis. But the very concept of holding good stocks for years is antithetical to our needs. Realizing the power of FDs after flipping a $3,000 Amazon put position to $7,000 in 3 days, Silf embarked on a half-decade struggle to stack paper through such aggressive means. What follows is a roller coaster from Wall Street hell, in which each gain is canceled by an equally devastating loss. Made money on Facebook, got cooked by the Zuck a week later. Finally have a good year? Don't buy shares, just YOLO into more positions until you lose it all. Silf suffers from such an aversion to gains that he is clinically unable to take profits, a matter deserving of investigation by the UN Human Rights Committee on Economic Affairs.
Oh my
Facing
God.
these woes, Silf tried exotic methods of trading, including inversing himself, i.e. placing the opposite trade of what he thinks is the right move, and then he inversed himself inversing himself, which also didn't work, and then he inversed this move, at which point you're not really inversing anything, you're just guessing. These methods were ineffective, and in September 2023, our man lamented that he has not made a single good trade in months. Last year, Silf grieved that he had lost 80 grand by autumn 2023, and he only had 20k left. If he held his most recently shared position until
Down
expiration,
80k in a week,
he'd be down to just some dust left over on the bottom of his desecrated portfolio. Since there are no gains to speak of, this 80k loss appears to be all his own money from actually working. Silf has spent the last several years working for the man, then dumping his salary into options and losing it all, without fail. At no point do I see any evidence of things like learning from one's mistakes from Silf, and for that, I raise a toast to Silvanas, the most habitually unsuccessful trader of this entire Wall Street Bets era.
Perfectly
If that's
balanced.
not OG Wall Street Bets, I don't know what is. And Silf, I recommend the ticker VOO. Just hold it and forget it. You're clearly not cut out for speculative trading. Consider sticking to video games, my dude. Now, let's check out throwback trade number 2. Next up at the parole board is a really swell character by the name of Interaction Fun 5368. Before his corruption as a Wall Street Bets user, our man joined Reddit at the very end of 2022 to discuss movies and video games like a pretty normal guy. Likely unfamiliar with Reddit, Fun Man passionately replied to several conversations about the Quentin Tarantino movie Hateful Eight, approximately 1 year after the conversations ended. A recent college graduate at the time, the big dog appears to have had better things to do than post on Reddit all day. But young adulthood is a dynamic time in life, and Interaction Fun sought to manifest his rise to prestige. However, the hotshot was too cool for school, declaring college his worst investment in life, almost certainly indicating he was getting a poor ROI on his education. With Visual Mod's warning about college expenses coming in a few years too late, Funny decided that if he wasn't going to get a return on his expensive but worthless degree, he would seek indemnification elsewhere. And what better place to make a rush toward generational wealth than the stock market? After gaining a rudimentary understanding of options by watching YouTube videos and browsing our favorite sub, Interaction Fun performed an extensive evaluation of the market environment. He determined that Theta Gang had an edge over the average schmuck and used VIX as a measurement of when to enter positions, a wise, calculated approach. However, selling exotic spreads like iron condors is an advanced options method. Despite his best intentions, our man was in over his head and outside his element, as evidenced by his odd and improper use of trading jargon. Nonetheless, the funny guy began his adventure with a respectable $32,000 earned through good old-fashioned labor, putting student loan repayments on the back burner. Cracking open Robinhood, the recent grad put in his bid for Theta Gang membership by selling puts on DWAC. At the time, DWAC was a highly volatile Trump-affiliated SPAC that appeared to be bouncing back after a meteoric rise and cataclysmic drop. The prospective parent company of Truth Social was anything but a sure bet, and as such, put premiums were sky high.
Yeah, I
By
don't
selling
do the
boatloads of
penny stock
cash-secured
stuff
puts, the
or those
brilliant
low
young
cap
man
things,
raked
but
in a
man, you can make a lot
consistent
of money there.
$500 to $1,000 per week. Once he had built up his cash pile enough to sell puts on, quote, the SPY, our man abandoned DWAC and made the switch to the bigger ticker. But with his bankroll, Interaction Fun only had enough cash to cover one short put at a time, and the gains were much lower than his ambitions required. To really get that premium flowing, he decided to sell $1 wide iron condors. Or as he eloquently put it, I then realized I could do an iron condor and sell credit spreads on calls as well. I sold spreads $1 apart in strike and put up $100 in collateral for each iron condor chain. This poor description is also ambiguous because it's unclear if it's the body of his condor or the wings of his condor that were $1 wide. However, I'm not sure if he'd know what those terms mean anyway. Determined, but beyond his expertise, it was not long before the novice had his ass to the fryer. In mid-December, the enterprising young man was riding his unspecified 0-day to expiration iron condors when Spy took a dump at open. The dip had Spy skating along Funny Boy's short put as the hours ticked by with
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up your store on a single integrated platform. Add products, showcase them dynamically, and seamlessly track your inventory. Accept multiple secure payments, and design your storefront down to the very last detail. Get all the tools you need. Drive more sales with customizable gift cards and flexible product subscriptions. Retain customers with a point-based loyalty program, email automations, and reach millions with sales channel integrations. Complete your setup with a personalized analytics dashboard. Make smart business decisions and shape the next phase of your business. Build, manage, and grow from one place. Go to Wix and launch your online business today.
No offense, but if you still think stocks, real estate, or crypto are the best passive income investments in today's economy, I'm sorry, but you've got it wrong. There's a little known trend attracting millions of dollars a day right now called Audible uploads. Audible, owned by Amazon, is one of the biggest sources of audiobooks and podcasts in the world. And Audible uploads can generate ongoing income with significant growth potential. In fact, they're one of the best ways for everyday people to start an extra income stream in their spare time.
I do this on a part-time basis, about 5 to 10
Sorry, I
hours
was
a week.
warming up
I
a
earn
burrito
about
here.
$40,000 a year.
Operation looming at market close. With the condor in the red, risk of Spy landing between the short and long puts was significant and could leave our trader in a nasty spot. To spare themselves from another Irony Man scenario, Robinhood executed its risk management policy and liquidated Interaction Fund shortly before market close. 9K had evaporated immediately, but the Theta applicant was still in the game. He took note of Robinhood's risk management procedures and jumped right back in with both feet. On a tight condor that Wednesday, our guy got lucky as Spy landed softly in the body of his condor, granting him a massive $25,000 return like it was nothing.
Holy fuck.
The 9K loss was clearly just a fluke, and Funny Guy's confidence reached a pinnacle. The following day, the rising star modified his condor by adding put credit spreads only, anticipating a market rise after Tuesday's
Yeah, I don't think
big
I'll
dip.
ever get into
He nearly full ported into
options.
put credit spreads expiring that
Takes a
Friday,
long time to
maxing
learn
out his account's
and be an
liquidity
expert
for
in
an
one
end of the
system.
week
I don't
Santa
wanna
Claus rally. But the huge bet aggressively turned against him
overcomplicate
as
things.
Spy began tanking at the opening bell and quickly pierced his credit spread as his account capsized below 25K, putting him at risk of day trading restrictions. Our man dipped into his bank account and topped up another 10 grand. It was all for naught. On Friday, with his spreads just hours from expiration, the market continued to sink, pushing him deeper into the red and dusting his prior day's deposit. Having already maxed out his instant buying power limit for the week, depositing more to free up liquidity was no longer an option. With the bears already pressing their grisly weight into our man's fragile position, Funny Guy tried desperately to roll his expirations to the following week, even paying a debit where he needed to. But Robinhood struck for the second time, slapping him with a day trading restriction and preventing him from trading further except to close his positions expiring that day, and as he put it, accept the loss of collateral. On Monday, he woke up to blaring red letters on his screen that served him his papers, a $4.4 million margin call.
What?
Really hit hard. Funman thought he was ruined. This is a story we've seen before, with Robinhood telling people they're indebted for life. Those of us in the know are aware that this is just how Robinhood tells you to exercise your long puts and take
One
the
guy
100%
killed himself
loss.
reading that wrong.
It's really not a good way for Robinhood to communicate this, but you're not actually $4.5 million in debt. But Interaction Fund was a novice and didn't know this. He spent hours waiting for Robinhood support to bail him out. Ultimately, he did escape with his skin intact, but his $40,000 bankroll was dissolved. The appropriately named user, Funny Associate, who has since been suspended, leading me to believe that he's actually Interaction Fund in disguise, lamented with our hero's story. According to Funny Associate, Robinhood cheated Interaction Fund out of his money by using unspecified, unethical tactics to turn his profit into a loss. Allegedly, you're not allowed to make money on Robinhood unless you're a hedge fund, and all others will need a lawyer. Interaction Fund strongly agreed with this assessment. I am pretty positive that our guy just made an alt to reinforce his own dissolution with the platform. To add insult to injury, he consulted Reddit for relationship advice after suspecting that his girlfriend was cheating on him. It turns out that she was actually cheating on her real boyfriend with him, and Funny Guy was just the side piece.
Oh no.
Which, I'm gonna be honest, really does not sound quite as bad as the opposite, in my opinion. However, he does appear truly hurt by this. A year later, Interaction Fund shared an update to his situation. Shortly after burning his life savings on The Spy, he also lost his job and had to move in with his sister and her 4 preteen kids. After 6 months of suffering this indignity, our man moved back in with his roommates who kept his rent balance on margin. After another 6 months of scraping by, Funny Guy was finally able to get a decent job and was well on the road to recovery. He says he has slowly and steadily been rebuilding his portfolio for long-term gains, leading us all to think he was talking about an S&P 500 ETF. But he was really talking about Fubo, into which he continuously dumped his entire deposit every single month. As of this writing, he's down another 25%. You're so close, man. Just pick a ticker closer to the end of the alphabet. Now, the moment we've waited for. The top trade of Throwback Thursday. According to ChatGPT, in the year 1919, philosopher Mohandas Gandhi started live streaming, and the chat filled up quickly. Gandhi preached, "If you continue to relentlessly buy FDs, you deserve to lose your money. Act like an adult and buy shares of undervalued stocks like Warren Buffett and make money consistently." Although the validity of this story has been called into question, no one can doubt Gandhi's wise words. As Wall Street Bets has repeatedly shown us, the exotic financial instruments called shares do most of the heavy lifting in serious portfolios. But does that mean you have to buy and hold indexed ETFs for 40 years so you can die rich? No, no one does that shit. Especially not the hardcore trader with the savage name of Standard Kill Chain. Evidence seems to indicate that our man is a 35-year-old introverted cybersecurity programmer, as indicated by him sharing a guide to some computer nerd stuff, including GitHub, keyboards, and INTJ personality tests. He also wrote a Selenium script to help someone perform a denial of service attack on a conservative Texas group that gets almost no engagement on its articles. The name Standard Kill Chain itself may be a reference to the cyber kill chain for targeting threats in the cyber domain, like ransomware hackers. In any case, the Quiet Killer appears to have joined Reddit at the very end of 2022. In fact, his first post, in which he asked for advice about whiskey, was barely a week after Interaction Fund blew up his account. But unlike some of the more casual types who stumble into Wall Street Bets after months of normal Reddit use, Standard Kill Chain went elbow deep in our beloved sub right off the bat. Not that he had anything particularly novel to add. I think he was just happy to be part of the conversation. After all, there's no evidence that this fast-paced, high-risk environment is Kill Chain's typical scene. Instead, he appears to achieve zen as a remarkably avid runner who manages his type 2 diabetes through a strict diet and by running multiple marathons per week. He spends most of his time, and I mean legitimately the majority of his time, galloping past trees and animals in national parks. In fact, his comments seem to indicate that he is a digital nomad, a rising class of people who work and live on the road. If they do own an actual house, they don't spend much time there. So much so
not for me.
that Kill Chain spent over 9 months living in his Tesla with his dog, driving coast to coast visiting national parks. Doing remote cybersecurity work while living as a gentrified homeless person was fruitful for Mr. Killer. His high-end earnings combined with his minuscule expenses allowed him to extensively invest. He appears to have a penchant for dividend stocks, but somewhere in the forest of a man's heart, there's always the desire to aim big. With a robust portfolio of about $200,000 in December 2022, our man turned his sights to beaten down meme stocks that had been pimp-slapped in the year's bear market and were now undervalued. I think what Kill Chain is trying to say with this oddly phrased comment is that if a stock has overwhelmingly negative sentiment on social media, then the bottom is in, and it's time to buy. By December 7th, Carvana, ticker CVNA, had suffered a devastating stone-cold stunner during the filthy bear market that year, and was then trading for about $4, a horrifying 99% loss from its peak at over $360 during the COVID bubble. The stock was priced for bankruptcy, and rumors of its downfall sneaked their way into every nook and cranny. But Killchain was not convinced by the negative sentiment and believed the vending machine car company was so.
Breaking news. Friday 19th of
another
April
fucking-
2024. A secret banking loophole known only to
severely undervalued. Specifically, he identified that although Carvana revenues were down, all of its bad financials were from this presumably one-time, unusual items segment of its expenses. Without that $2.893 billion expense, its $2.894 billion loss on continuing operations would have really only been a loss of $1 million, its best quarter ever. The writing was on the wall. That day, he shared his highly contrarian trade, never bet against bankruptcy Carvana, which is kind of ironic because he explicitly bet against a Carvana bankruptcy by going balls deep into shares. Against his buy price of about $4, his $182,000 investment bagged him over 47,000 shares. His Wall Street Bets colleagues mocked him for his botched post title and insane trade. However, the Allfather visual mod agreed with standard Killchain, reinforcing his disposition. By early February, Carvana had already climbed to $14, and that initial investment had self-yeeted to almost 650 grand, an enormous win. But was it enough to sell? No. For the next 4 months, Carvana meandered along as its risk of bankruptcy cooled down. But the real boom came in June, when CEO Ernest Garcia III told bears that his company would demolish Wall Street earnings expectations through its recovering strong business. The bankruptcy move was unofficially off the table. Bears stumbled over each other to get out of their shorts, and Carvana moved to a high of $26.09. Killchain's patience was rewarded, as his shares were now worth over $1.25 million. But was that enough? No. When the chachas on Wall Street Bets discussed buying puts, our man knew the stock had more upside. Retail traders were still too bearish. Tacking on some calls expiring in 2025, Killdozer added serious leverage to his position. He held with iron hands as the stock nearly doubled again, putting his portfolio at $2.5 million. The peasants in the comments section were simply incapable of understanding how such gains could come about without FDs. Some users could not even read the chart as they were unable to identify share positions instead of calls. In light of this enormous gain, our hero shared his trading strategy so that others may copy. His criteria for stock selection centered on finding meme stocks that were down at least 98% with expected bankruptcy. Then wait until a capitulation day when everyone on Wall Street Bets says it's dead. Then you buy as many shares as you can. These criteria concerned some users, as they believed others would end up buying shares of companies that were already actually bankrupt, and those traders would get stomped out as a result. And that's probably true. But in August, the big man flexed on the doubters by doing it again. When everyone discussed WeWork going bankrupt, which did indeed happen eventually, the killer put down 137 grand on over 900,000 shares at 15 cents each. On that day's dead cat bounce, WeWork nearly doubled on pure speculative momentum to 27 cents. Just in case his 2.5 million wasn't enough, the big man cashed out another 260 grand to his pile. And what did this Chad do with his wealth? He ran the most dangerous route possible at the Grand Canyon that the park rangers specifically tell no one to even attempt. But he did it anyway. Because if you're going to inverse Wall Street Bets, you might as well inverse the park rangers too. It's unclear if Standard Killchain sold his Carvana shares, but if he were true to the expiration date on his calls, he's still holding. With Carvana now over $85, his shares would now be worth over $4 million. His calls, another 100 grand. But whether he cashed out earlier or holds to this day, there is no question about it. Standard Killchain is a true standard bearer for what our sub aims to be. Your Grace, I humbly offer you the crown of kings, so that you may be forever recognized as a champion among men. Wear it well, and take your place on the throne of Wall Street Bets.
Damn.
Who wants to be king?
Thank you all for watching, and come join our free Discord, link down below.
Helen Hansel was able to win.
Alright, well, that was fun.
She was known as...
Alright, so I've done everything I needed to do today. Made money, we had some fun, we had some laughs. So I think I'll just call it good. Does anyone have like a raid request? Otherwise I'm just gonna plop on a random VTuber. Anyway, things worked out. Tomorrow I just need to get that extra $400 and I'm done. I'm not sure if I'll stream that or not. I need to really concentrate on that. I don't want to fuck around. Alright, I'm gonna do a random raid, and we're gonna call it good. Unless there's any other final questions. Well, you posted in the Discord, yeah, I'll let you know what happens.
Ready to dominate the digital realm.
Dominate, ready to dominate with my posts on Discord. Alright, see you later. Gonna raid.
Good
GG's.
Mate. Ready to dominate the virtual arena. Let's conquer with some sportsmanship.
Dominate everything.